Cover 3 Tailgate. And welcome back to the Cover 3 podcast here on CBS Sports. That's Tom Fornelli. That's Bud Elliott. That's Danny Kanell. I'm Chip Patterson coming to you live at youtube.com/cover3 and everywhere you get your podcasts on demand. Thanks for hanging out. Smash that subscribe, smash that like, and come and join us in the chat, a.k.a. the Cover 3 Tailgate, where dadgummit, they are still celebrating the Sam Houston under sicko parlay. I mean, it's just when you hit like that, you just got to keep soaking it in, and we'll do that for just a little bit more before we turn our eyes to the Week 5 slate, which is absolutely loaded. But first, a tease of an announcement of an announcement. That's what you got yesterday. But boys, I miss y'all. You know, it's been a minute since we've been able to all get together as a family. Do y'all want to go to Tallahassee?
Sure.
I'd love to go to Tallahassee.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. So Cover 3 Tailgate, do y'all want to come to Tallahassee? Because Tallahassee, we are coming to you. You can join us for a special live presentation of the Cover 3 podcast from Madison Social. Now, I mentioned if you're going to the game, get in town, get through the traffic, get a little lunch, then come and join us for a little, just nice afternoon to get ready for the Friday night events. So at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Cover 3 podcast live from Madison Social. There will be locks. There will be giveaways, and the drinks will be flowing to set the scene for one of the biggest games of the year on this college football calendar. It is free to enter, so show up early. Again, we don't need you to get tickets. We are welcoming anybody and everybody. Florida State fans, I know you're going to be there. Miami fans, show up. I am challenging you. We want to be able to have a little bit of everything as we look ahead to this Madison Social, Tallahassee, Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. No, boys, set the scene for us, because for Tom and I, we're going to be checking off a nice little college town bucket list right here. What should we expect?
Bro, you said it. Scene. It is a great college town scene, great vibes, good scenery. It is definitely where everybody in our audience demographic wants to be. Madso's a great bar. I mean, obviously they've sponsored Nolecast for more than a decade now. Matt really gets it. It's a first-class experience. Get out there, get there early. We're going to have a blast.
You mentioned it's a great college town. They actually have a new development that was not there when I was in college. That is called College Town. Madison Social is at the center, at the heartbeat of College Town. And I will say this. If College Town existed while I was there, I might not have survived. I don't know if I would have graduated. I don't know if I would have made it through my first 2 years to get that third year of eligibility. It is a ton of fun. They do a block party, so they shut down the street. So after we're done, you can hang out at Madso, see a band. There'll be people everywhere. And there is nothing better than a rivalry weekend, especially like this one. It is going to be electric. Cannot wait for this atmosphere. And can't wait to meet fans. When I was there last time, when we were there with the pregame show, I heard a lot of Cover 3 guys coming up and saying, who's going to win the what's the room? The room bowl.
The escape room.
The escape room bowl. We had some Cover 3 fans come up and ask me, so I better see those guys there to see us discuss one of the coaches that was in the escape room bowl that came out on top. The winner of that one will be squaring off against us. So we love seeing our Cover 3 fans out on the road. Make sure you spread the word. Definitely come check us out.
Yeah, congratulations to Mario Cristobal. He pulled the chain on the light bulb, which actually opened up the drawer where the key was in, so he was able to get out. Congratulations on being able to figure that one out right there. Again, that is going to be next Friday, October the 3rd, in advance of Florida State and Miami. Cover 3 podcast live from Madison Social in Tallahassee. 3 p.m. is when we get started. then they've got to start setting up for the block party, but we are going to hang out. We want to come and meet you. We'll have trivia. We'll have giveaways, lots and lots of fun. Again, 3 p.m. Eastern time that Friday afternoon, Cover 3 live from Tallahassee, free to enter. So come get your seats early. How's everybody doing in the splash contest?
Crushing it.
I'm 40th out of 6,500.
Yeah, you are.
And what's his name? EH Gator's dad on Twitter is 22-2 and will not stop giving him shit about how he's 22-2 against the spread. So he's like he DM'd me. He's like, he only joined because I told him to, and now he's 22-2 and won't stop letting me hear about it.
For those listening at home, right now in first place. So is that his Twitter handle for the GHOGRE?
I don't know if the dad has Twitter.
Okay.
I don't know if the dad watches the show. If he does, like we got to get his name. But I mean, 22-2 against the spread is ridiculous.
22-2. That's what we got in first place. 26 points. Because remember, you can get the bonus points for the locks. We've got Gamecocks 492 currently holding down second place solo. A group tied at third, Colin, J.R. Witt, Mr. Brownstone. And then it starts to get a little bit more jumbled up. I did scroll to see Bud. I think you are the highest score of our of the hosts here. I think I'm in the 300s right now, sitting on like 18 points. So and look, I started off way back in the 4,000s. So you put together a couple good weeks, then you can start to get things moving. All right. Before we look ahead, let's look back at the week that was week 4. The cover 3 locks pod. We start with Bud Elliott. It was a 6-5 week. The wins included Houston -4.5, Miami first half -9.5, Arkansas +7.5, the Oregon State. Wait,
Chip.
So, yeah.
I think one more messed up this morning, dude.
All right. Week 4, Michigan -1.5. This was a 5-7 week. Excuse me. Michigan -1.5. Florida, Miami first half under 26. The Michigan State USC over 55.5. Temple +24.5. Virginia first half -8.5. The losses were Iowa, Rutgers under 47. That's a lock fight loss against Tom. You got Illinois +6.5. The Louisiana, Eastern Michigan under 51. UTEP -5.5, Georgia State +27.5, South Carolina first half under 7.5, and Southern Miss +3.5. 5-7 week. What are we taking away?
Got to be better, obviously. So most of these, I think, were like most of the losses were just not good bets. I didn't see Vandy pouring on Georgia State. I'm pretty high on Vandy this year, and like they're even better than I realized they were. The one that I think I'm really annoyed with is the Golden Eagles. I mean, they outgained Louisiana Tech by like 220 yards and lost on the field. If you told me that, I'm taking the 3.5 every time there. Iowa, Rutgers, like apparently Rutgers you just use like walk-ons for offensive linemen. Doesn't matter. They're just going to score, and Iowa's defense is finally crap. That like they're not good at all.
Maybe more on that later.
Yeah.
5-7 for the week has Bud at 21-22 for the season. For Chip, it was a 10-3 week. The wins were Texas Tech, Utah first half under 29.5, Michigan -1.5, the Auburn, Oklahoma under 47.5, Indiana first half -3, Illinois, Indiana over 52.5, Miami first half -4.5, USC team total over 37.5, the Sam Houston team total first half under 2.5, Virginia -14.5, NC State Duke over 57.5. The losses were SMU TCU over 64, Missouri team total over 29.5, and Tulane +12.5. You remember the losses more. That's what the greats will tell you. And I mean, DK, we had an end zone interception. We had some bananas, like 500 balls jackpot that were pulled down as well. But the game had enough yards and enough back and forth. I thought we were going to get the iron skillet over there. So that one, yeah, we'll see. We've got other games to move ahead. 10-3 for the week has me at 26-21 for the season. Danny, it was a 4-6 week. The wins were Oklahoma -6.5, the Texas Tech, Utah under 57.5, Arkansas, Memphis over 62.5. Florida State minus 45.5. Took a L on Utah -3. Michigan, Nebraska under 46.5. Illinois +6.5. Florida +8. USC -17.5. SMU, TCU over 64 as mentioned. What are we taking away?
Florida and Illinois, bad plays. Would not take those again. The Utah one, it'd be nice if Kyle Whittingham could give us a little injury updates, give us some information there. Maybe would have played that one differently had I known their quarterback missed 2 days of practice. Other than that, feel pretty good.
All right. That is 4-6 for the week, 20-21 for the season. Tom plugging along. 5-4 week wins on Iowa Rutgers over 46.5. Florida, Miami under 51.5. Oklahoma -6.5. Sam Houston team total under 7. USC team total over 37.5. The losses were Nebraska +2.5. Texas Tech, Utah over 57.5. Missouri -9.5. Purdue +25.5.
Nothing really. Just the Mizzou 9.5 hurt. Finished at 9. They missed a couple extra points. Purdue 25.5 hurt. They lost by 26. Although, I mean, in real life, I got him at 27.5 when it first opened. So I actually won, but not on the show. So that sucked. Nebraska 2.5 was not nearly as close as the final score suggests. And then, yeah, kind of along with what Danny was saying, I would have appreciated the knowledge about Dampier when I took the over 57.5 in that game.
I mean, Utah DNB for the time being. Are we going to do not bet? Just like,
yeah, I think they're back on the list. Yeah.
You think he's playing this week?
No, I'm not betting it. That's what I'm saying.
Be dead.
Just 5-4 for the season has Tom at 21-14, rocking along in first place. All right. That week behind us, we got to turn to a loaded week 5 slate ahead. And so I ask, gentlemen, are y'all ready to lock it up?
Let's do this thing.
Since 2005, the under in games between service academies is 40-9-1.
We're picking locks.
Give me an over in this one as well. A little 2-for-1 special.
Don't get these locks.
I was a sicko last week. Y'all were watching the good games. I was live betting the hell out of UL in Kentucky.
My Blue Plate special 5-star locks are coming.
5-star master lock. Lock it up. You want these locks.
I'm living and dying every point, every cover.
From the locking chair to your eyes and ears, a reminder that locks are sponsored all season long by Cash App. Making money moves should be easy, and that's why there's Cash App. It's fast, safe, and honestly way more personalized than other apps out there. Our thanks to Cash App for sponsoring the locks this season, and they will be the presenting sponsor of the Locks Trophy. The chase for the Locks Trophy, of course, currently Tom Fornelli in the lead. All right, let's dive into, as we always do, the weeknight games first. Just one on Thursday. We got ECU and Army. Who's got a lock? I've got a thought. I don't have a lock.
I have a Twitter kit.
Tough matchup sandwich where you've got the sort of physical nature. It's not total body blow theory, but you played against BYU last week, and now on short rest, you've got to defend the triple on Army. I don't love that. And whether you want to attack that with an Army or whether you want to attack that with, I don't know, Army team total over, you know, there's a lot of different ways that you could try to, you know, play off of the idea that for ECU, you'd gotten all hyped up for this Saturday night game against BYU. I thought the Cougars handled their business nicely in that game, and then short rest, tough prep. I don't love it for the boys in Greenville right there.
Yeah, my Twitter tip is Army in the points, along the lines of what you were thinking of playing BYU now being on a short week, having to play an option team. And then just last year, ECU played both Army and Navy, lost to Army 45-28, lost to Navy 34-20. So both offenses were able to move the ball quite a bit on them last season.
Well, shoot, now I'm going to end up taking this, not locking it up, but I mean, just, you know, a little action for Thursday night. Then Friday night, Florida State on the road taking on Virginia. We've also got TCU and Arizona State. Let's see. Who's got then Houston at Oregon State. I knew there was a third game. Who's got a lock for Friday night?
We're betting the Noles.
Just laying it?
Yeah. So look, I bet UVA first half and a little bit full game last week, and that was rocking chair easy. I don't think I'm exceptionally down on the CVA team. I've had them fairly well pegged for this year, but I have not been super impressed with them. I think they're like a non-basement ACC team that has a veteran quarterback, but I don't know they have a lot of defensive speed. Honestly, like NC State looked really fast in scoring 38 on them. The other thing to watch for here is the center for them. Brady Wilson is like maybe the best center in the ACC. He has not allowed a single pressure all year. I was looking on our friends at StatsBomb at the charts. And also when he's in there, the guards are extremely good at pass pro. When he's not, the guards are like big red columns as far as pressures allowed. So yeah, they listed him as questionable. He was on the sideline last week with a big wrap on his leg. If he's out, I don't think that's good. You have to block Darrell Jackson at all. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it with FSU here.
Anybody else?
This game really, really scares me. And you got Miami next week. Everybody's going. Game day's going. Cover 3 podcast is going. I think the Noles either lose or they win by 2 touchdowns or more. They're going to win by 2 touchdowns or more. I think this team is focused. I think this team has a killer mentality. This is a completely different mindset than they were last year. I think they come out hot. I also will lock up a little 2-for-1 special and take the over in this game, over 59.5. I think Florida State scores a lot. Virginia can put up some points. I don't think they'll put enough to cover, but I think it's a higher scoring game. I think Florida State's offense shines again. They got a lot of speed out there. Gus is in his bag. I think they show up ready to go.
And, well, wait, no, hold on. So, agreement for the spread for Danny and Bud. Danny's going full game over. I'm on Florida State team total over.
Yeah.
Catch this 33.5. I think that getting up into the mid to high 30s makes sense given what we've seen from Virginia so far. The Chandler Morris of it all, and whether Florida State's defense is, dialed in or caught flat-footed, look ahead spot. I mean, that's communication, that's mentality, right? Like those sorts of things could be a total coin flip as I'm sitting here on Thursday afternoon. So I will go with the part that I feel comfortable about in the matchup, and that is Gus Malzahn, Tommy Castellanos, who's dancing in the locker room, so he must be fine. We're going to go with Florida State to be able to get over 33.5. Anything else?
I'm just appreciative of all the people that are reminding me of what happened the last time I was in Charlottesville on a Thursday night.
What happened?
The number 1 team in the country.
What happened?
Tom just stirring, just bringing up old wounds.
I
You're the one who brought it up. I don't even know what we're talking about.
No, but Tom, they did him.
Tom.
They did him dirty.
Dirty.
They did him dirty by showing the clips. We were doing our top
Clips
25
of what? What happened?
Oh my God! Come on.
You're joking, right? I mean, this is one
I
of
don't
the
know what
biggest
the hell we're
upsets in
talking
the
about right now.
history of college football in the ACC. The first loss Florida State ever suffered in the ACC as the number 1 team in the country.
You played in that game?
Tom deadpanning this is amazing.
It is.
Hey, dude, let's see.
I
If
do
you
look
I didn't
good.
know.
I mean, there's
I
no
had no
way I
idea.
could have. Like, that game took place in 1995. There's no way I could be old enough to have played in that game. So I get why you're surprised by it. But yes.
I was just a wee little boy. I don't remember that happening at all.
I think I remember it. 93, 94 are my first memories of ACC football. And so I remember it being a thing, Florida State's first ACC loss.
It's also on a bullshit call.
Yes.
Oh, that worked and should have been in.
I mean, unbelievable. If they had replay,
was in the end zone.
If they had replay, this doesn't happen. Like literally, it's not one of the ones that was close.
And I don't know if you saw it in the tailgate, Tom, but do you remember how many pass attempts DK had?
Oh, it's 1995. I'm going to guess he had at least 11 or 12.
You want to tell him?
67.
67.
67?
Yeah, it was the dumbest game plan by Mark Richt ever.
No wonder your shoulders sore.
Al Groh
Was it
came
Mark?
out there and dropped 8 all game long. It was like, no one did that. Like, no one rushed 3 and dropped 8 into coverage, and we just kept throwing it, and we should have been running the ball because we had work done in the backfield. Yeah.
67.
Yeah, 6-7. All right. Anybody else going with the TCU Arizona State?
I am.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
Ooh, I kind of want to hear Bud go first.
I'm taking TCU.
Bam! Let the children sing. Come on.
I don't think Arizona State should have won that game against Baylor. I thought Baylor was the better team on the field. And TCU, to me, other than just screwing around at the last minute, was pretty dominant against an SMU team that I think is, the equal of Arizona State. So I've seen TCU play at a higher level here. I don't think Arizona State's run game is very good. So I think TCU, I think this game should be pick. So if you're giving me 3, I'm going to take it.
3.5 or 3? I had 3.5 before the show.
I don't see any 3.5, but if you
All
can
right.
get that, good on you.
I'll take
the 3. There's one 3.5 out there, but it's very heavily juiced.
Got you. Then I'll take the 3 because the same thing.
3.
Josh Hoover is playing as good as anybody out there. It's crazy that I actually trust him a little bit more than I trust Sam Levitt and Jordan Tyson. I still think they need to show a little bit more. They're a little bit balanced. I think TCU's defense is better. So I like TCU here.
Do you know who else thinks that Arizona State might not have been the better team? Kenny Dillingham. Did you see his post-game press conference? He was just like, we cannot win games like that. We cannot win games like that. I mean, in college football, sometimes it happens. We cannot win games like that.
That's a pretty good horse Kenny Dillingham voice, which is pretty good.
He does a lot of like this right here. He's got some like bobblehead to him.
It's very good.
Yeah. All right. And then no one wants to take Houston, just laying the wood to the Beavs. I don't want to. I mean, that's a self-care. We got to be in studio Saturday. So
that's a very, very weird. Like, why are they playing this game in the middle of conference season? Was this scheduled back when like the Pac-12 was, more of a big time? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just don't know if I feel that for them.
At the risk of derailing the Locks episode with talks about scheduling and scheduling contracts, I just think Oregon State needed as many willing takers as possible to be able to fill out a schedule until they get the Pac-12. So this is how you wind up probably with Houston coming to town Friday night, 10:30.
Like, are they paying Houston to come to town?
I'm asking. We're asking the question.
If we have any Houston or Oregon State fans in the chat, they'll probably know. Like, maybe it's a 2-for-1 thing.
Yeah.
But I don't recall Oregon State playing at Houston.
Well, we are going to get the return visit. I'd forgotten until I did my research this week that Missouri played at UMass last year. We get the return visit for that one again. So lots more to come. All right. Coming up on the other side, we do turn our attention to Saturday. We'll get things started with some of those headliners, including Ohio State's trip out west and Penn State welcoming in Oregon, at latest chapter in Alabama, Georgia, and more. Next.
Only CBS Sports can bring you big time during the heart of Saturday afternoons. It's big time.
It's big time. It's big time. It's big time.
On CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, rolling through our locks for Saturday in week 5. Let's begin out in Champaign, where it's ranked on ranked with USC going to play Illinois. Trojans are 4-0, coming off their second conference win of the season, getting it done against Michigan State. They were up late on Saturday, and now they're playing early here, 12 noon Eastern time. Illinois, of course, looking to get back off the mat from the game against Indiana. Can't remember the score. Don't need to revisit it. Who's got a lock?
I do.
I want to hear this. Yeah.
USC -6.5. I mean, Illinois secondary is still banged up, and USC can throw the ball around a little bit. I know Jacoby Lane's status is still in question. He may not play. That will matter. And I do think that, body clocks matter a bit, but they don't matter nearly as much as body blows. And Illinois has taken a whole hell of a lot of body blows in the last week or two. So I just don't know if I have enough faith in that defense to get stops. I think Illinois will do a better job of moving the ball and scoring themselves against this USC defense than they did Indiana. I just don't know how many stops they're going to really truly be capable of getting here. So give me USC -6.5.
So the nickel, who's a great tackler we talked about going to the Duke game, he's out for a while, right?
He's probably out for the year. Yeah.
Like 2 more starters are out.
Yeah.
Jaheim Clark has been out all season. There was hope he would be back last week. He didn't play. There's still hope he's back this week. Matthew Bailey, their starting safety, has been in concussion protocol during the week. I don't know what his status is yet. They're pretty banged up back there. And also Torrey Cox, one of their backup corners who came in last week, got hurt in that game and is out for this one. So,
And the targeting guy was first half.
His first half. He'll be back.
Assuming he didn't get hurt on the bench.
Correct.
I
don't know. Some of those benches, man, they got some jagged edges. You catch them in the wrong spot.
You ain't lying, man.
Anybody else gonna tackle this one?
Yeah.
All right.
Let the children sing. For everything Tom said, I think this is a great litmus test for USC. I think they're a really good football team. I think they're very much in the mix for the playoffs. This is sort of, all right, show it to me. By the way, how many times did Altmaier get sacked in that game? 7. USC, I told him last week, didn't work out for me against Michigan State, but they still added a couple sacks. I think they're able to pressure Luke Altmaier. I think they're able to put up a lot of points. Under a touchdown, I like it here.
What do we think about a first half under?
The body clock, the slow start.
Yeah, and catch it at like 30.5. Do you know what I was thinking about, Tom? I was thinking about you saying that we might see Illinois just want to limit possessions. You know?
Yeah, for sure. I do think they're going to lean into their run game more, but the run game has not been all that impactful, but that plays to your.
Yeah, let's do it. First half under 30.5. Yeah, I think that there's just a general approach here. And if you can throw the body clock in there too, but it's just, if I'm thinking about how does Illinois win this football game, I do not think that trying to give USC's offense a ton of possessions to throw it on your banged up and depleted secondary is a path to victory. So yeah, let's take that. Let's take that first half under 30.5. All right. Anything else on USC Illinois?
I think Tom's analysis makes sense. I don't know if I trust. I was not super impressed by USC against Michigan State.
That's fair. Hey, they scored enough though. All right, let's move on into the 3:30 slate, where big time heads out to Seattle for the Sailgating and Husky Stadium as the Ohio State Buckeyes take on Washington. We are sitting in a situation where it's Washington against the number 1 team in the country. Not a lot of success. Are the Buckeyes on upset alert? Because Washington, this is one of the largest margins between how many points per game one team is averaging, which would be the Washington Huskies. I think are at 55.7 points per game for Washington. Ohio State, 5.3 points per game allowed. That is the 4th largest gap between scoring offense and scoring defense in any game since 1950. Minimum of 3 games each. So what's going to happen here? We got a spread of about 8.5 or so, total around 52.5. Who's got a lock?
I do.
All right.
Start us off. Ohio State team total under 30.5. I think Ohio State's going to win. Obviously, by my analysis, you could also like the game under. I don't know if they'll cover. My overall thought is we saw this offense struggle in the opener against Texas. Washington's defense, it's not Texas's. But Julian Sayin is going on the road to play in Husky Stadium, which is a very difficult place to play. It is very loud. You can't really hear yourself think. I don't know exactly where Julian played in high school, but I'm guessing he never played in a stadium like this, and he's never been on the road as a starter in a stadium like this either. When he's playing at Ohio State, they're quiet for Ohio State's offense. That will not be the case here. I think that could lead to some struggles early. And I think that Ohio State's run game hasn't really been super effective to this point all year. So I have some concern about that there if they have to put more in the passing game. So I think Ohio State wins. I do not think it's pretty. So I'm going to take their team total under.
I like the full game under 52.5, right? Is that what we're looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'll go full game under 52.5. I think that for Ohio State in this spot, it is a run the football, play great defense. DeMond Williams is dangerous. And I think that, out of that, there's going to be a lot of respect paid and letting Ohio State's linebackers and safeties are awesome. You sit back there and you really make Washington earn everything. Don't give up those explosive plays that they've been able to get on the way to averaging 55 points per game. So with run the ball, play great defense, I like the full game under.
I'm laying it
with Ohio State.
Yeah, I really wanted to like this Washington team this year. I just don't like what I've seen from them. I thought Wazoo's quarterback moved it on him a pretty good bit. Sayan's been incredibly accurate. I think Washington, I thought Washington had a shot to make the playoff this year if everything went right. Like you could paint the picture, but I don't think everything's gone right from an injury standpoint. And I don't think they have the horses to run with Ohio State here. I mean, I'm sure Fish will scheme up some, but I don't think that they're in the same class athletically. So I'm going to go ahead and lay it with the Buckeyes. I think they win by 14.
Well, I get you 7.5. You don't need to go.
Yeah, that will work.
I'll take let me take Washington first half plus 4.5. Because I do think this could be a game where you sort of start slowish. You mentioned scheming up some big things. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington maybe does hit a big play or two early. See a first half of like 13-10, somewhere in there where Ohio State could be leading. I wouldn't be surprised if Washington's leading at halftime. As Julian's saying, Ohio State's kind of get used to playing on the road. So I do think the horses maybe take over late.
One note, and not to give away any kind of edge on this, but this is a pretty good live betting game. Fish is a very good scripter. It would not shock me if they come out and score early, but I do think Ohio State is, pretty damn good at adjustments. They have real people on the back end. I don't think you're going to give up a ton of like free explosives. Everybody on that back end can really run. So if Washington comes out, they get the ball first, they score early, you can scoop in Ohio State like minus 4.5. I think that's unload the clip.
I think somebody in the tailgate gets it. So if you want to treasure map this, you want to go with a Washington first half, an Ohio State full game. And then I like that there as one way to get to the gold. But if you really want to chase the big treasure chest, then throw in a little Ohio State team total under and full game under. That one could be the full get you sweating all the way through the end of 4 quarters out there in Seattle. Again, the game, you can watch it on CBS. You can stream it on Paramount Plus. It will be Gary and Brad and Jenny on the call. It should be a great time. 3:30 p.m. Eastern time kickoff. Also, in that afternoon window, we've got the Magnolia Bowl. This time in Oxford, it is LSU against Ole Miss, meeting as ranked opponents, I believe, for the 3rd straight year. Who's got a lock?
Tigers.
Woo!
I don't think anybody has blitzed Ole Miss at all. And Trinidad has looked pretty good against two defenses that just dropped everybody. I don't think anybody's had the nuts to try to cover Ole Miss, honestly. And I think LSU's got real guys who can cover. I think their nickel, what's his name? He was awesome against Clemson. Harvey Halsey, I forgot the kid's name. I've been watching a lot of their all 22. That kid's a stud. I think they have some interesting pieces who match up really well with Ole Miss here. And I don't think Ole Miss defensive line can give them problems like Clemson and Florida could. I don't think Ole Miss's bodies look like Clemson and Florida. So I'm going to go ahead and take LSU here. I just hope that Nussmeier's healthy enough to pitch it around.
Are we going to have Nussmeier on Is He Healthy watch for the rest of the season?
Sure sounds like it.
Yeah.
Unless he breaks out this game, which he might.
AJ Halsey.
Halsey, there we go.
Yeah, you had it.
13. When you watch tape, you just know numbers.
Yeah. I was like, okay, this dude's good.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the LSU-Ole Miss first half under 28.5. I think that this is a matchup that, because of the sort of common idea of LSU and Ole Miss and the fact that they've played these 56-49 back and forth, who's got the ball last, I just don't think that's representative of the teams that they've been this year. LSU not as explosive offensively while also being improved defensively. And while Ole Miss is able to, go out there and has found some success with Trinidad Chambliss at quarterback, and I don't find it a group that is going to intimidate LSU, which Bud might go with your LSU play as well. It could get, super tight game, could get a little silly, could get a little loose, but early on, I don't see either of these offenses having a ton of success. So I'll go first half under 28.5.
You still wanted a 27.5?
Yeah.
All right, because that's where it is.
Okay. All right. Chip, we have some expert opinion here. Disagrees with you a little bit. So music. All right, we are going rapid fire for some Ole Miss and Vandy picks, says the dentist. Ole Miss, LSU over 54.5. In the last 10 years, this game has gone under the number only one time, 48 points in 2021. Add that to the fact that Kiffin's response this week to seeing in his daughter in the lap of an LSU linebacker was to take the over. Yes, sir, coach. Also, LSU plus 1.5, siren, emotional hedge, siren emoji. To win this game, Ole Miss will have to take advantage of LSU's weakness, which is their offensive line. I haven't seen a lot from this Ole Miss defensive line unit to make me think they can control this game. They have 4 sacks in 4 games so far. I hope I lose this bet badly, but LSU is more talented and you get points. Moneyline sprinkle spot as well. I'll gladly pay to lose this bet.
All right, Vandy?
Yes, also some Vandy. Vandy minus 22.5. This team is physically abusing every team they play. I have been riding them like a donkey this year, and I'm not stopping now. I was hoping for a slightly lower line, 21 or under, due to concern for look-ahead spot to Alabama and pulling players, so I fully expect a backdoor sweat here. Also, Vandy team total over 41.5. Vandy's averaging 48 points per game this year and 58 points versus non-Power 4 teams. The new home atmosphere has been on fire this year, and I expect another good crowd, even at the 11:45 time slot. I'll be there sipping a vodka oat milk, watching this one cash in the third quarter. To the emoji, lock emoji. Yeah.
Now, the dentist so far this year is 1-4. So he's been finding a lot of mysterious cavities that might not actually be there. She's like, oh, hey, look, we might have to do something about this right here. If we don't address this right now, this could become a real problem in a few months. So let's just do it now.
I'm sorry, Dr. Dennis. This is my child is only 5. That tooth is going to fall out. Is it really
no,
urgent?
Chip. Do you not care about the health of your children?
I think I told you this. I called him.
You called the dentist? Oh,
like
you called
3 years ago
real
when
dentist.
like Liam but he face planted in like the bed frame, and it was like,
was that when he needed the popsicle to be able to ice the wound, but also like calm him down?
Yeah. And I was like, I called him. I was like, hey, he's like, dude, it's a baby tooth. Unless you think there's like, if it's like really jammed up and going to damage the gum, don't sweat it. They'll either reattach or fall out early.
Yeah.
Like we're not putting fake teeth in a kid. It's like, right.
There you go. So, except for now when you're 1-4, and now all of a sudden you magically have to do all these.
Yeah, now they do, man.
Anything else?
He's an Ole Miss fan. He's putting like Trinidad Trinidad James.
Yeah, he's putting all gold everything.
All gold everything.
Yeah, don't believe me, just watch. All right, anybody else got an LSU Ole Miss lock? All right, then. On to prime time in Happy Valley whiteout conditions. Oregon coming to town against Penn State. We have detailed the breakdown for this game. So now the most important question is who's got a lock? All right, let's hear it.
Oregon plus 3.5. Just believe it when I see it kind of bet here. I believe Oregon. I don't quite believe in Penn State yet. And I know it's a whiteout. I know it's going to be a crazy atmosphere. I know Penn State has won 6 straight whiteouts, but I think only 2 of the teams they've played in those games have actually been ranked. And I think they were like 24-17. This is another top 10 team. And we all know James Franklin's record against top 10 teams, including when his team is in the top 10. I just like what I have seen from Oregon a lot more than what I have seen from Penn State. I am ready to be proven wrong if Penn State wants to do so. But until I am, no, give me the Ducks.
Who else? Just Tom?
I think it's well priced.
Are we still at 52.5?
Yeah, somebody
just
bet
throwing one on to
bet
be
over this morning. Yeah, 52.5.
Yeah.
There's a little 52 out there if you want that.
No, I'm sniffing the under.
Damn. Somebody just popped ooh. Okay.
What?
Somebody at one of those offshores that'll take big time money just popped Penn State, moved it from 10 to 17.
I'll go ahead and lock it up. No. If I'm going to sniff it, I might as well take a bite. Yeah, I think that the Penn State playing at home in with the crowd and everything else, this is not going to be a game that plays out similar to the 45-37 track meet that we saw in Indy. You know, I just think they lean on their defense. I wouldn't be surprised if some of that conservative approach that has accompanied James Franklin in some of these big games ends up being we're not exactly going to let it rip here. We're going to try to lean on them. I think the defense is going to get after it. And then at the same time, I mean, until Drew, what'd you say, Danny? We go back to like last September to find the last time that Drew Aller threw for more than 250 plus yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll go under 52.5.
Hold on. I'm going to bring up one stat here. This is from our friend, the Tailgate Tent, who the tweet is, now I don't know exactly how he justified or rated this, but Drew Aller against teams with a pulse in his career. Against Ohio State in 23, 18 of 42, 4.5 per attempt. Michigan in 23, 10 for 23, 3 per attempt. Ole Miss in 23, 19 for 39, 7.6. Ohio State in 24, 12 for 27, 3. Oregon in 24, 20 for 39, 5.8. SMU. Now, these are the playoff games where Penn State won. 13 of 22, 5.8 per attempt. Against Boise, 13 of 25, 6.8 per attempt. Notre Dame, 12 of 23, 5.9 per attempt. The man has not played well in these games.
Yeah, that somebody commented on the Thamel story on Twitter, in which he had used the line "great to elite" or something like that, and he's like, "Can we get to great before we make the jump from great to elite?"
All right, I've heard enough. Let me lock up with Tom. Let the children sing. I think the Ducks. I'm going to go with what my eyes have told me so far. The Ducks look good. They look ticked off. They still haven't lost a conference Big Ten game during the regular season. They were perfect last year. I think speed kills. I think they have more of it in this game. I'm worried about Penn State's tackles. I'll take the Ducks.
I'm tempted to go Penn State here.
Do it,
man. Tell you what, like the last time Dante Moore played a real game on the road,
3 years ago.
Back at UCLA as a true freshman?
Uh-huh.
Wait, no, you're not supposed to say uh-huh like, yeah, you're right. I mean, Danny's trying to say like, no, he was a different man back then.
He still hasn't played any kind of real road game since.
You're telling me that the environment at Lanning Sharon Martin Stadium along the lake shore of Lake Michigan with the wind howling and those speakers bumping isn't a real
it's a little bit closer to Rice Eccles in Utah, in which he was 15 of 35. We haven't seen him to see if he can survive getting rattled. We've not seen DeCorian Moore handle somebody putting his hands on him. Like, he's a fantastic freshman. He's probably he's easily the most talented receiver in this game, but there is still a difference in like going on the road and dealing with actual crowd and adversity. You know, Isaiah World, right? Your offensive tackle, like number 1 tackle in the transfer portal. He's played okay so far. I mean, dude, what's the biggest environment you played in at Nevada? There's a lot of new guys who've never played in a big environment on this team, who really didn't get many reps last year. They look great, but
you know what I've seen, though? I've seen Drew Aller at home against Ohio State last year go 12 of 20 for 146. I've seen Drew Aller in those playoff games underwhelm. And this was my national championship pick. Like, this is the team I thought they were going to take that next step forward. They just haven't shown it yet. Are they keeping all these tricks up their sleeve where all of a sudden magically these receivers are going to look great and Andy Koltnicki's going to scheme up some big plays and they're just going to be marching up and down the field against the Ducks?
The second part of that is the maybe for me. I don't think there's any chance these receivers all of a sudden emerge great. I do think we have seen Koltnicki before scheme up some stuff where guys are just WTFO.
There's also just a chance, a small chance, because we have questioned Penn State's receivers 3 years in a row now. Maybe, just maybe, it's not the receivers. Maybe it's the guy throwing it to them.
That's fine.
Hold on. For clarification purposes, Bud, are you walking into this bar fight? Are you breaking that pool? I think you got to break it.
We're getting everybody stirred up right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Fight.
Just slide a shot of whiskey down the bar. It's like, come on, go get it. Go do it.
All right.
Step out in the alley.
I mean, like we talked about on the big game breakdown, I do think this will be a close game. I'm not sitting here saying that I think like Oregon's going to just run right the hell over them, but I think it's going to be close. So I'll take the 3.5 points. And I also just feel like I trust Dan Lanning more in these kind of spots to be aggressive and do what it needs to take to win the game. Whereas I think James has a history of kind of going a little too conservative at times.
Oh,
just watch out for those private school kids.
Do y'all want to try to make a hype video? The thing about this Oregon team is that they let it rip. If there's one team in I'm just kidding.
No, you should have kept going.
I'm not gonna be that blatant about it. I was just, having some fun. We appreciate our friends at Oregon who enjoy to listen. They do a fantastic job. I do enjoy those recaps and hearing the message that they have for every single week, be it the Bull Don't Care or whatever it is.
Dante Moore will hear Bud calling him out, though. That is 100% for sure. Dan's going to play that for him.
Yeah.
I mean, look, neither of these coaches have a record worth of damn in big games. One of them is going to pick up a win in a big game. So somebody's coming out a winner.
Saturday night instant reaction show, when we're coming on, what the winning coach here has done something, whether it's Dan Lanning on the road in a big game or James Franklin against a top 6 opponent. We've got somebody who's doing a slump buster.
Did Oregon not beat Ohio State and then beat Penn State in the Big Ten championship last year?
Didn't I say on the road?
I'm just saying, I feel like those are 2 big wins for Dan Lanning in big games.
I was saying true road. I said on
talking to Bud, not you. Not everything is about you, Chip Patterson.
Environment, of course. Also, Penn State at home under Franklin is pretty much nails.
Yeah,
as a favorite.
All right, Alabama at Georgia, 33-game home winning streak for the Georgia Bulldogs. Wow, that's impressive. Kirby Smart 1-6 against Alabama. Yeesh. We've got the Dogs as a very, very narrow favorite here. Again, like a lot of these big juggernaut games, it seems like the new toss it out there is 52.5, right? Somewhere around there. What do we like? I like points. Over. This game's going to be like last year's game. This game's going to be like Georgia, Tennessee. This game's just going to have swings. This game's just going to have some big plays made by incredibly gifted and athletic wide receivers. And Danny, you made a great call yesterday on HQ Spotlight that it's the absence of the game-changing pass rusher that you would sometimes get with these two teams. Like the one player who totally ruins a quarterback's night. Because they're still really good defenses. And, we talked on the big game breakdown, Alabama's secondary is really good. But, man, without somebody to speed it up and some, a lot of skilled talent on the perimeter, I just think both these offenses are going to be able to cook. And so I think this is a very low line when I could easily see both teams getting into the 30s. So I'm going to go over.
Lock agreement.
All right.
I don't think we're going to see 75 points scored like we did last year in that game. I don't think it's going to be as up and down as last year's game was, with Alabama jumped to the huge lead, Georgia storming back, and then the Ryan Williams touchdown. But I do think that both of these secondaries can be beaten by the receivers on both sides. As you mentioned with Danny there, the lack of the elite pass rusher that's going to be a game wrecker for either side. Yeah, I know Alabama's defense was really good statistically, but I still remember how it looked against Florida State, and I still remember how Georgia's secondary looked against Tennessee, and Alabama's got a couple good receivers, so I think over. And also, just since 2018, they've met 6 times, and the average game has featured 62 points. So
yeah, that was the other thing is because they keep throwing a full screen graphic up when we're talking about this game on CBS Sports HQ to show, Kirby Smart and the 1-6, and I was just going through and looking at all the scores, and I was like, well, if this holds, then we're going to see a lot of points here.
Rose in the chat says surprised by the lack of hype on this game. I didn't even know this was this week until yesterday. I think it's like the collective conscience that there are still really good teams, but they're not what they were 4 or 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like they're very clearly would get whipped by like the better Bama teams or the better Georgia teams from a half decade ago, I think.
Well, I think we've seen Alabama lose as a double-digit favorite like 4 times in the last 9 games.
Yeah.
So you're just not the monster you used to be. And Georgia
didn't have knockback against Tennessee. Like normally when Georgia plays, you see the other line of scrimmage going the wrong way.
Right. And
we didn't see that against the Vols. The Vols just held their own.
Now, Georgia, great win, right? And we talked about that on the reaction show. That's why
they're not thudding you like they used to. They used to push you around like you felt them. And I don't think you feel Georgia anymore right now.
They're both
Maybe
awesome.
That'll be different Saturday night. Maybe it gets clipped on a hype video.
Do you guys know what this is?
I was going to say it's a football, but I don't know what that is.
This is a trophy, and that's my trophy case right behind me where I keep my club championship trophies, the titles that are back there.
Trophies.
There is a trophy on the line for this one, and right now, Tom and Chip are leading. They're 47-35 combined. I'm going to hop in with them because I think these guys are right. Give me Latifah here. I'm not falling another game behind. Too many athletes on the field. Kalen DeBoer, we saw him explode last week with a ton of points. I trust both of these quarterbacks. It's crazy because I kind of like Ty Simpson coming into this game better than Gunnar Stockton, but he showed me a lot what he did on the road, the ability to make the play down the field. He's also got the ability to make plays with his legs. I think this game has a lot of points. I'm on the over as well.
Is this because you like the offenses or because you think that neither team can run, so it's going to funnel more to a pass game?
Like the offenses.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the wide receivers. For both, I mean, just just big Speed. Game. Something routine becomes not routine, like real fast. So, love that there. So, Bud, nothing here?
No, I really want to see. So it looks like Ernest Green's not going to play for Georgia. That's their left tackle. I don't think that's great, honestly. I'll probably live bet this. I'll probably have a second half play, but I think there's so many different ways this could go. Stockton, he made like one pretty nice throw, and the rest was kind of all right. Okay enough. I do think Bama can. I think Bama's receivers, I think Bama's DBs can really cover. So like that's. I want to see Georgia prove that, and I want to see Simpson throw the ball on time against a better defense. Like Bama's offensive line looks like Tarzan, but more often than not in these big games, they've been playing like Jane. I want to see him actually play well. So Juan Gaston looks like they're going to play left tackle according to the chat. That guy's a future NFL pick for sure. Like if you watched him as a freshman, he's a stud. Our guys there at Jordan at Dogs 247 told us all about him. But still, like freshman left tackle who's been a guard for you doesn't seem like a great situation for me.
But if not to write narratives before they happen, because obviously the game will dictate how we talk about it. I will go back to Kirby telling us before the season.
Fine, I'm going to fight you guys. Give me under.
Whoa! Hold on. Wait, yeah. All right.
I think both these back ends can really run.
Fight.
Wow.
Yeah, I think both these back ends can really run. I think both teams have pass protection issues. I think they're going to try to protect their quarterback, throw a lot of short stuff, and maybe try to establish the run early. So give me the under.
Disgusting.
You guys wanted a pick? There's a pick. Let's go.
I thought we were friends on this show. You know what? I don't know that I want to go to Tallahassee anymore next week. I don't know if I can look Bud in the face after this.
We're going to switch the time from 3 p.m. to high noon.
My plane should land by then. So,
all right. Coming up on the other side, we open up the card, all of our week 5 locks, plus Moneyline Sprinkles and more. Next.
Name's Conrad Harrigan, family man. And if you cross my family, well, you'd better pray.
Mobland, new series streaming March 30th on Paramount Plus.
Back here on a suddenly divisive edition of the Cover 3 podcast. Let's take a look at the locks we've got on the board. Bud is on FSU -6.5, TCU +3, Ohio State -7.5, Penn State -3.5, Alabama, Georgia under 52.5, and LSU +1.5. I've got Florida State team total over 33.5, Ohio State, Washington under 52.5, LSU, Ole Miss first half under 27.5, Oregon, Penn State under 52.5. Alabama, Georgia over 52.5, USC, Illinois first half under 30.5. Danny's on Florida State -6.5, TCU +3, USC -6.5, Oregon +3.5, Alabama, Georgia over 52.5, Florida State, Virginia over 59.5, Washington first half +4.5, and Tom's got Ohio State team total under 30.5, USC -6.5, Oregon +3.5, and Alabama, Georgia over 52.5. All right, let's open up the card a little bit. Are there any? I've been a lot of games, a lot of totals have been talking to me. Totals talk week here in week 5. Are there any 52.5s or 50? I guess, or either 53 for Texas A&M Auburn?
Let me see here. What's the rotation number on that?
There's a 53. What are you looking to do?
Over.
I can get you 52.5.
Yeah, let's go over 52.5. All 3 Texas A&M games have gone over so far this year. Their defense has, let pretty much everybody move the football on it. Utah State a little bit at the end, UTSA a little bit at the beginning, and then Notre Dame 40 points basically all throughout the evening. The offense also has become a lot more explosive. They are one of 9 offenses in the country that are currently being able to balance more than 300 passing yards and 150 rushing yards as a team. And so, you've got that. You've got playing at Kyle Field. But this Auburn team, I really think, even as Jackson Arnold took a bunch of hits in that game, I think he's looking at Texas A&M's defense, and he's looking at Cam Coleman and Eric Singleton. He's like, yeah, we're going to be able to get out there and score some points. So I like going over the total in Texas A&M Auburn.
52 out there, by the way, Chip.
All right, let's take it.
You're not concerned at all about Auburn being on the road for a second straight game?
No, actually, do you know what I included in my handicap of this? Is if the defense lets go of the rope for being on the road in their second straight game, you could end up giving up some late scores to help us get there.
Only thing here is their center, Connor Liu, he popped on the injury report, and he's a pretty damn good center. So I'm a little worried if there's something going on there. I'm not trying to be quiet. I don't know if there is more going on there, but it scares me a little bit.
Horatio Fields also broke his foot in practice.
The number 3 receiver?
Yeah, Auburn's third receiver. Okay. Transfer from Wake Forest. Good player, but, not overall changing the picture, especially because you've got to dedicate so much attention to Cam Coleman. But, just another item from the injury report there.
You know what? I just talked myself into it. A&M -6.5.
That Auburn second straight road game playing in Kyle Field, rested A&M. I mean, yeah. Auburn. Yeah.
And also, I feel like with getting that safety at the end of Oklahoma-Auburn last week to get the cover, I feel like sometimes God's just telling you to bet against Auburn. So I'm going to do that again too.
Okay.
You know what though? This podcast has had a lot of contention. And I think it's just the theme, because I feel like God is just, and after after Auburn just got hosed and they got 14-point swing in that game by having a bad call go against them with gifted Oklahoma touchdown, a scoop and score, took 7 points off the board for them. But most importantly, we talked a lot about the aspects. Auburn's defense actually did a fantastic job against John Mateer and Oklahoma's offense. That's what I think keeps Auburn in this game. I think that was a big confidence boost game for Jackson Arnold. He found Cam Coleman, got something going there. I think Eric Singleton, I think that offense, and I think Jackson Arnold's legs keeps them in this game. I'll take Auburn in the 6.5. Ball don't lie.
Fight.
Let's go.
I mean,
Separation Saturday.
But Bud goes against unity. Anything's possible at this point. We're just going to throwing bottles at each other by the end of
When's the last time we had somebody go against the unity?
I think it happened last year. But let's see. Yeah, there was one traitor last year, and that person was, it might have been me, honestly. It was me going over Iowa UCLA 44.5. All the rest of you guys went under.
Oh, that definitely went under because the quarterback got hurt, right?
Yeah.
And what won?
Unity under one. Yeah, Unity won.
Like that. All right, Tom. Where would you like to go?
I would like to go home. I'm going to go. Listen, Service Academy unders. All right. We know I love them. We know they're incredible. We know that they're endangered right now because totals are getting very, very low in those games. So sometimes you have to look for them where maybe you don't think they exist. And such opportunity,
spiritual Service Academy under.
One such opportunity exists this week. It's Rice versus Navy. Rice is an option team. Rice runs the ball the third most often of any team in the country. It's Army, Navy, Rice, and then Air Force. That's right. Rice runs the ball more than Air Force does. Totals at 45.5. For a Service Academy game, you'd probably be getting 37.5, 38.5. Give me the under 45.5 in Rice Navy.
So good.
I don't hate that at all, man. That's yeah.
I mean, Rice does exotic things, but they take so much time to set it up.
Yes. That play clock is going down to 3 every single snap.
Every single snap.
It's like when your kid's setting up for the thing he's going to show you. I'm like, just show me. Yeah.
And then it's done. Like a play, then the play's done in about 3 seconds or something along those lines. All right, Danny, where do you want to
go? I'll go in the ACC. One of the biggest surprises of the weekend last week was what Syracuse did to Clemson. I can't even believe I'm going to say this, though. Is that win that impressive? I mean, from what we've seen from Clemson, they left everything on the field. Fran Brown was phenomenal. The game plan was aggressive. The first score, the onside kick, but they also lost their quarterback, Steve Angeli. Ricky Collins comes in, a guy that they were able to hold him off, but they weren't quite as effective. Angeli was leading the country in passing yards. I think there's going to be a little bit of a drop-off there. And I look at Duke. I think Duke has been playing better. I don't think their losses are as bad as some of them look. The Illinois game, they were competitive for 3 quarters before it fell apart. I think they're slowly finding identity. A nice win last week against NC State. I will lay the 5.5 with Duke against Syracuse down a QB.
I don't hate that. Duke looked pretty okay against NC State. Cuse got pretty banged up on the D line. I'll join you. Agreement.
Ooh, all right. Wait, did they really get banged up? I mean, were you watching the Cape? Was it the bodies that were just dropping that led to the $25,000 fine for faking injuries?
What's the goon say in Mighty Ducks 2? The 2 minutes well worth it.
Yeah. That's how I know that Clemson might be getting disrespected by everybody, but the ACC office still bends the knee because Cade Klubnik calls it out, and now all of a sudden here comes a fine 2 days later.
ACC Commissioner Cade Klubnik.
Hey, listen, I know Jim Phillips Jim Phillips, PhD, MD, is a big fan of this podcast. So Jim, I'm not trying to run you out of town, but if you wanted to train your successor, I think Cade Klubnik would be an excellent choice. Stand up young man, really loves the game and the college experience. So could be a great one for the future. All right, let's see. Anybody going to take a bite on hit a couple of just sort of like big ones we haven't talked about yet? Notre Dame, Arkansas.
Notre Dame team total over 34.5.
Let's go. Arkansas can't stop nobody.
Yeah,
they haven't shown an ability to do so yet. Yeah.
You gonna lock it up too?
Lock agreement. Yeah, that's how I want to play this as well.
Yeah.
I don't know that I trust Arkansas to show up after what just happened to them. I think the Irish still have something to play for. So go ahead and give me the over for the team total.
Team total. I like that. DK.
I like Arkansas.
Are you gonna lock it up? Or you just did
yeah. No, lock it up. I'm gonna take Arkansas and the 4.5. Their offense is really good. Notre Dame's defense has had its issues. Arkansas's defense is bad. I like the over in this game too, but I'm just gonna lock up Arkansas on this one. I do think the 11 a.m. kick is a bow season, right? Started bow season.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I still think they're going to be up in Fayetteville. Road spot. CJ Carr's been great. Their running backs have been great. Taylor Green leads the country in total offense. I just think this is a higher scoring, kind of crazy game that comes down to a field goal potentially at the end. I don't hate Arkansas to win the game outright. So if I like that, I'll go ahead and take the 4.5 while I got them.
All right. Let's go to Starkville. Tennessee at Mississippi State. Let me make sure we can still get this. Tennessee, Mississippi State, first quarter over 13.5.
All right, it's going to take a second. That's 165, first quarter. And you want the over?
Yep.
I've got the best I can do there is
14.
Over 13.5.
Yeah.
All right.
Bang. Yes. Okay.
Wait,
so I think we're
that's minus 140. That's a little much.
Okay.
They have 14 though.
How much about that life am I? Because I really knew I could get 2 touchdowns out. Here's my thinking. We'll get 4 possessions, right? We're going to get 4 possessions. Can we get 2 touchdowns out of 4 possessions? I think yes.
You're going to take 14 then? What happens? You push? You can't lose.
Pushing ain't losing.
Pushing ain't losing. Do it.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go.
You're on a heater. You went 10-3 last week. You got to keep rolling the dice.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, the over 14. Do I need to really? Because first of all, I think that as we have discussed, Tennessee first quarter's fast starts are back, right?
Mm-hmm.
We drifted a little bit, but we are 100% back. And Mississippi State, equally capable of being able to come out and fire and hit some explosive plays early. So let's go ahead. I'll even take it at 14. First quarter over 14, Tennessee, Mississippi State.
Okay.
All right, I've got, let's see, maybe
I have 3 left.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 left, maybe. Bud, do you want to get disgusting with it?
I don't know that I have a sicko this week, guys.
Whoa.
I mean, I've got a couple I'm considering, kind of giving it into the show, but I have some stuff that's, let's say, like in relation to the quality of this week. Some of these games are like normally they would not be sicko. I don't want to play the sicko mode music, but these are definitely not games that are going to be on the main screen for anybody.
Sure. Yeah, I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have one that's kind of sick. Give me the under 46.5 in Kentucky, South Carolina. Just a disgusting football game. Fun little fact. South Carolina has scored 89 points as a team this year. 31.5% of those points have come on defense and special teams. 28 of their 89 total points are from their defense and their special teams. The offense has been bad. And I know Lenore Sellers was hurt for part of that, but even when he's been playing, the offense has been bad. And Kentucky, I don't really think I need to go into any further detail on. So, yeah, bet it, don't watch it.
What?
All right.
UMass first quarter plus 13.5.
Oh. Fight.
Fight.
I wasn't going to say this because a lot of books don't have the first quarter stuff up yet, but yeah, fight for sure. All right, go ahead.
Hold on.
It's time for sicko mode. Let's go. A little bit lower on some of the teams in the bottom of the Sun Belt. If things go wrong, they could be like UMass, UConn. That's kind of like sicko mode of a sicko mode.
All right, so last year when these two were playing, I mean, the only reason why Missouri got out to a 14-0 lead is because of a 63-yard reverse to Luther Burden. I mean, if they didn't have that explosive play, they were not going to be up 14-0. So you're telling me that, like, in this bye week on the other side of this, you've been rolling through all these games. You're telling me that everything's going to be crispy here? No. UMass comes out, and they defend a 13.5-point lead with all of their heart. They are the Minutemen, and I need 15 minutes, men. And then I want to stop watching. But I need 15 minutes of heart.
Give me 1 second before I read this. I just need to do something here real quick. Okay. All right. This is from MinutemanCommand.com, which is a site that is covering UMass.
Crap.
The first major defensive update was about starting corner TJ McGee, who exited UMass's Week 3 matchup against Iowa in scary fashion. Joe Harris-Simiak, who was the DC at Rutgers, he's now the UMass head coach, said he was doing better after spending an extra night in the Iowa hospital. His movement is good. He doesn't provide a timetable for the Davidson transfer. Ryan Barnes, the starting cornerback on the other side, will also be out for a period of time, according to Harris-Simiak. He was absent with an injury for the first 2 weeks of the season, but appeared against Iowa without making a tackle. The two starting safeties, Jeremiah McGill and Zeron Daniel, are both questionable this week. Daniel acquired his injury during the opening week matchup against Temple and is working on getting himself back. McGill played in all 3 games for the Minutemen, and his injury and timetable were not revealed. Unfortunately for the secondary, this is kind of like, but wait, there's more. Yeah. Both backup safeties coming into the season are also on the injury report. Ball State transfer D.D. Snyder had surgery last week on his hand and will be out 6 to 8 weeks, according to Harris-Simiak. It was also reported that Kendall Burns is questionable for Missouri. To make matters worse, Keith Sardoki, the third-string safety who made a team-leading 5 solo tackles against Iowa, is also questionable with a hamstring injury. Now, all 3 of UMass's deep safeties are either out or questionable. As reported by Harris-Simiak, the Minutemen plan to move some backup cornerbacks over to the safety spot to fill the hole. As of the Monday press conference, UMass had 6 of the 8 defensive backs listed on the Week 1 depth chart either out or questionable, and 7 overall players in the secondary on the injury report. It was revealed that UMass built its football facility on an Indian burial ground and is cursed. Look for Zach Ferris and Malcolm Green to move over to the safety position.
You added that. That's editorialized.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Brendan Bailey, Raheem Sexseal, and J.C. Clark to fill in at cornerback. Stay tuned for more injury updates. If there's more injury updates, they should just cancel the game. So I hope we should not stay tuned for this. Like, Jesus.
2 things. This is a great opportunity because DraftKings has it at 10.5. So, Bud, I can get you Mizzou minus 10.5 and Chip plus 13.5. So let's middle the hell out of this thing so everybody wins. But also, that injury report, when we talk about body types, that's what we mean, because UMass's body types going up against Iowa's body types or even Temple's body types, this is the kind of thing that happens after those contacts.
Oh, well, I believe somebody at the tailgate called it syringe warfare when you've got a sicko fight.
They said it was the UMass report.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Hey, you know what? UMass did mix. I mean, not UMass. Missouri did miss an extra point last week.
Don't remind me. Yeah.
could be significant. All right. What do we have left?
I've got 2. I don't know about you guys.
I've got
I got some totals. Tom, go ahead.
I'm going to take Utah State plus 22.5. I'm fading the dentist. As I mentioned, he's 1-4 on the season. I have the best record on the show, so maybe you should believe me over that guy. But this is just a situation for me. I agree with him. Like, Vandy's very good, and Vandy has looked very good. It's just they've got Alabama next week. Would any of us be shocked if they kind of just, go a little bit vanilla here against Utah State, who I think has been undervalued the entire season long? So getting more than 3 touchdowns, give me the Aggies plus 22.5.
It is Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Broncos kicked in some back doors. When we had to pick it yesterday, I took Vandy first half just because of that. But I'm no lock here on Thursday.
All right. Totals. We already hit the Notre Dame team total. Louisville under 58. I think both backs are dinged up. Eli Holstein is the second worst PFF grade among all Power 5 quarterbacks, and it's by a lot. He's just been terrible, so I don't think he's going to get out of that funk. Cincinnati over 56.5. So you got to do some digging here. But if you look at it, Kansas has done a pretty good job against the style of defense that Iowa State runs. Okay. Iowa State obviously lost one of their top lieutenants to become Cincinnati's D coordinator last year. Also, Kansas had the ball run down their throat by Missouri, which runs a very similar run scheme to what Cincinnati runs. So I think both sides will be able to score some points here. Cal over 52. 2 bad defenses, 2 quarterbacks who I think have real ability, despite them getting shut out 34-0 last week against San Diego State.
You got to mention the other team.
Boston College.
Boston College, sorry. Okay. And West Virginia under 48. Over under on starting quarterbacks who play in this game, 0.5.
And for those not keeping track at home, West Virginia is playing host to Utah.
Oh, playing host to Utah. That's really bad podcasting by me. I apologize.
What'd you get for the number 48.5?
48.
48. Okay, good.
Right. I mean, if there's 48.5, I'll take it.
No, there's not. I was just making. I thought, okay.
I mean, Bud, you might as well have just read rotation numbers. 363 over 57. Like, okay. Hey, let's go out on this one. BYU third quarter. Do I need to do a 0.5 or do I need to lay the 1.5?
I don't know. Like, you think we have these numbers ready for you just off the top of our head here? Let me look it up. Hold on.
Third quarter?
Yeah.
BYU. He's taking a third quarter.
Okay.
BYU third quarter.
At least I know that that's the bottom. You got to lay a half point, Chip.
Yeah, cool.
And it's yeah.
So, BYU, if there's a little bit of maybe a hangover, then I could understand that. They were in Greenville last week. They're in Boulder this week. Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, has found his quarterback. He did the whole like, oh, you want somebody else? Now watch him stink. Okay, now let's go back to Caden Salter. But if I have to decide which of these 2 coaching staffs I think is going to do a better job of making halftime adjustments, it's going to be on the BYU side of things with Kalani Sitake and his group. And then I decided to do some digging. Because against FBS competition this year, small sample size admittedly, BYU is averaging 8.5 points per game in the third quarter while allowing just 1.5 points per game in the third quarter. BYU has not allowed a third quarter touchdown all season long. So if it is a little bit of a sleepy start, it ain't going to be a sleepy third quarter. I like BYU, regardless of the situation, to outscore Colorado in the third quarter. Let's go Cougars. BYU third quarter minus a half a point.
I've got one more. We're going back to the well. Maybe people will finally start to believe. Rutgers, Minnesota over 50.5. Rutgers doesn't need tackles. They just score points.
Yes.
They just score points.
I got one more.
All right.
Somebody asked about Indiana, Iowa. I really want to lay them with Indiana, but I'm just like, why is this number not bigger? But you know what I am going to tackle? The total. I'm going to go over 47.5. And I think Indiana could do it by themselves. And from what we've seen of Iowa's offense, I know they had a little bit of a breakout against Rutgers, but I think Indiana's going to roll here.
Yeah.
And I like the points.
All right. Anything else here? All right. Let's review our week 5 locks. Bud has Florida State -6.5, TCU +3, Ohio State -7.5, Penn State -3.5, Alabama, Georgia under 52.5, LSU +1.5, Duke -5.5, Notre Dame team total over 34.5, Missouri first quarter -10.5, Louisville, Pitt under 58, Cincinnati, Kansas over 56.5, Cal, Boston College over 52, Utah, West Virginia under 48. I'm on Florida State team total over 33.5, Ohio State, Washington under 52.5, LSU, Ole Miss first half under 27.5, Oregon, Penn State under 52.5, Alabama, Georgia over 52.5, USC, Illinois first half under 30.5, Auburn, Texas A&M over 52. The Tennessee, Mississippi State first quarter over 14. UMass first quarter +13.5. BYU third quarter -0.5 point. Danny's got Florida State -6.5, TCU +3, USC -6.5, Oregon +3.5, Alabama, Georgia over 52.5, Auburn +6.5, Duke -5.5, Florida State, Virginia over 59.5, Washington first half +4.5, Arkansas +4.5, Indiana, Iowa over 47.5, and Tom's locked on Ohio State team total under 30.5, Rice, Navy under 45.5, USC -6.5, Oregon +3.5, Alabama, Georgia over 52.5, Texas A&M -6.5, Kentucky, South Carolina under 46.5, Notre Dame team total over 34.5, Utah State +22.5, and Rutgers, Minnesota over 55.5. That was the locks sponsored by Cash App. As you heard me say at the top of the show, new Cash App users can use our code and get free money. Use our code COVER3, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 right in your account. Thank you to Cash App. And coming up on the other side, our Moneyline Sprinkles for week 5 and more. Next.
Name's Conrad Harrigan, family man. And if you cross my family, well, you'd better pray.
Mobland, new series streaming March 30th on Paramount Plus.
Back here on the Cover 3 podcast, and this Moneyline Sprinkles segment is brought to you by FanDuel. Play your game. Ooh, loud cash register. Let's make some money. All right, last week on the Sprinkles, Bud bringing it home. A little Tulsa +350, Maryland +300, Memphis +250. Nothing. Geez, 0-4 for Chip. No Sprinkles coming home. Danny gets Syracuse +580 to the window. That was that inspired the Jenny Dell cut him off in the Sky Club.
Yes.
You were on it. You fired from the Sky Club and you saw it coming, and there was never a doubt as Syracuse goes wire to wire. Tom 0-3, no Sprinkles there for the season long total. Bud has now jumped out. He's up 10 units on the Sprinkles, 5-6 record. Danny at 4-10, up 2.85 units. Tom 3-7. -1.7, Chip at 4-13, -5.55. All right, Bud.
Honestly, if I'm Bud, I'm sitting on it. Nobody's getting up to 10. I wouldn't bet another sprinkle the rest of the year. I would dare us to chase you down.
All right, if I sit on it, does it mean I get to leave at noon every Thursday? All right, here we go. 127. Give me Cal +205 to go beat Boston College. I just don't see a big difference between these teams. I mean, neither plays a lick of defense. High variance quarterbacks distribute the ball pretty well. All right. 161, Arizona +205. Arizona's quarterback's been playing extremely well this year. I don't think there's a huge difference in these teams. If you really dig into what Iowa State's done so far, they played a Kansas State team that is the most disappointing team in the country in terms of like where they were preseason win total and what they're projected now. Mm-hmm. I mean, Kansas State's projected to go 4-8 by FanDuel.
Yeah.
In their updated win total stuff. That's pretty bad. All right. And finally, 193, Washington State. I just don't think they should be +185 at Colorado State.
you want to talk about an angry fan base that maybe we don't spend as much time. Colorado State fans are furious with the state of their football program right now. They have horrendous vibes.
Yeah.
That's not going to be at the top of anyone's hot seat situation. And it always comes back at a place like that where who's the athletic director, what's their relationship, the university, all those things. But the fans, the Colorado State football fans are furious with the lack of competitiveness of the Rams right now.
Did anybody think about Colorado? By the way, I'm not pulling the trigger on it.
I mean, obviously they're not going to.
BYU's played nobody. It's their first road game. They have a freshman quarterback. Like that.
Not interested.
All right.
Not interested. I almost took BYU
okay last week. I mean, people think I'm the Colorado hater, but like, he looked a lot better last week.
I almost took BYU fourth quarter too. Who do you trust more? All right. Let's see, Danny, where are we sprinkling?
All right, I'm going to go to mentor versus mentee, good friends, buddies, Jeff Lebby versus Josh Heupel in Starkville. He's already got one big win at home against Arizona State. Make it 2, knocking off the Vols plus 260. They win the game outright. There's another team on here that has won 22 straight games at home. Make it 23 for the Washington Huskies to pull off an early upset of the season. I think this season's going to be wild. I think we're just getting started with the amount of teams, the upsets we're going to see. It starts off here. Julian saying first road game does struggle. And Damon Williams has a big game for Washington. Finally, another trend I'm just going to follow along with. Kirby Smart is 1-6 against Alabama. Make it 1-7. Give me the Tide and Ty Simpson to get it done in Athens on the road, plus 135.
Tom?
Let me see here. I've got 4. I'll start with the Friday. I think this is Friday night. Give me TCU plus 135.
Okay.
I like the Horned Frogs. I mean, I know you guys are on the plus 3. You guys have a lock agreement there. I'm very much in line with that thinking. Give me UCF plus 190 on the road against a Kansas State team that is very much in danger of being dead. Give me Hawaii plus 210 on the mainland. I know it's a long trip to the mountains from Hawaii, but they're playing Air Force. I don't trust Air Force to be that big of a favorite against anybody this year. I'm sorry about their JV team, Chip. I'm just not fully on board. And then I mentioned this. I took the under in it earlier. I think this could be a very ugly game. I think it could be very close in the fourth quarter. And I think a team that has turned the ball over a lot to this point already this year could turn the ball over 1 or 2 times too many and cause themselves to be upset at home. Give me Kentucky plus 190.
Ooh.
If that happens, does Beamer leave for
Virginia Tech?
Hokies?
I don't know.
Or do you run it back with Sellers?
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you, Danny. Had it as 250. If we can get 260, I'll take Mississippi State. I like that one. Auburn, is it 205? That's what I had in my notes. But, there's at least that is a closer game than number 9 team in the country, playing at home. Things could get a little wild. I like your bold don't lie call. Ducks plus 145 or, whatever the appropriate number is right there. And then I don't want I felt a little complicated about this because I didn't want to I don't like trying to profit off of like emotional stuff, but I do think that there is at least I am wishing for just good vibes here. App State's going to play Boise State this weekend. And it's worth a sprinkle. I wasn't going to come out here and lock it up and tell you that they're going to cover 16.5, but it's been a tough, emotional week. I'm hoping for a good performance and a cathartic weekend for a Mountaineers roster that, a lot of players on that team were recruited by and signed with Sean Clark. So after the news of his passing, I'll throw a little App State good vibes plus 550 out there.
Also, AJ Swan practiced today for them.
There you go. And also, who's going to trust Boise State?
One time.
Come on. Let's go. All right. And that was the Moneyline Sprinkles segment brought to you by FanDuel. Play your game. Nice, crispy 90-minute locks. But guess what? We're not done yet, okay? Because you may remember that we asked you to participate in our Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon auction. And that was the opportunity to give your locks for the week on the Locks Pod. Our thanks to Chris, who was able to win that auction. Again, all proceeds going to the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And now we will bring you our conversation with Chris and his locks for week 5. Back here on the Cover 3 podcast. And this is a very exciting time of the year because you may remember before the season started, we participated in the Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon. We all have items up for auction. Many of you contributed, but not all of you won. No, there could only be one winner for the Fantasy Football Today Draft-a-thon auction. We're auctioning off the opportunity to participate in an episode of the Cover 3 Locks. And that fine-looking gentleman that you see right there is Chris. Chris, first of all, all the proceeds from this go to benefit the St. Jude Children's Hospital. So this was all for a very good cause. So on behalf of them and the Fantasy Football Today crew, we wanted to say thank you for that. And also, it's just it's cool to see the passion for that you're showing to support us along the way as well. So Chris, thank you for participating and congratulations on winning this auction.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Chip, man. I was trying to do this for like the last 3 or 4 years, and it was always, when you guys were doing the locks early July, August, it just didn't work out schedule-wise, family vacations and that kind of stuff. So when I saw the opportunity to pick your week, man, this week 5 looked good, and I said, I got to get in on this auction. So I'm happy to do it. No, you're welcome, and I'm happy to be able to support this, man. I've been following you guys for a long time.
So before we jump into the pick, you've selected some games. You've got some locks. Like this is Chris's time to let the chopper spray, as we like to say. I see that. I see that very nice looking little Penn State get up right there. Is it safe to assume we are we've got our eyes set on Happy Valley and the game this weekend?
Not only do we have our eyes set, we will be in attendance. So
Nice.
we will be heading that way Saturday morning. Let's go. Looking forward to some tailgating and, not getting too intense that you can't make the game. That happens sometimes with Penn State tailgates. But no, looking forward to it. And yeah, we have obviously got some locks, some picks, some things, some thoughts there. Absolutely.
Well, what do y'all want to do? Do y'all want to just dive right in? Just let Chris start.
Do we need to call the dentist or
I do want to hear from the dentist because I would love to hear what the dentist has to say about maybe the situation that transpired on Twitter.
Yeah. I do expect that to be addressed this week. For sure.
When he said take the over, he's talking about their relationship, right?
No,
I mean, I thought he was going to target weeks, just go at him.
Chris, what is one of your favorite picks, one of your favorite locks? Like if we were throwing it up and there was no T at all and it was just like, who's got a lock? What would you want to jump in and make sure that you grab right away?
So I think after watching that Iowa-Rutgers game last week, that Friday night special, I think that Indiana -7.5 going to Kinnick. After seeing what they did, sorry, Tom, to Illinois. And I think that is probably, if there was something on the board that I'm going to go grab early. I know it's 7.5. Is it going to come down to 7? Probably not, just looking the way that the tickets are going. But that's probably something just immediately looking at the board that popped out to me is, hey, this team looks like they are playing everything as of last year, if not better. And a lot of composites and a lot of the statistical stuff too, just efficiencies and power ranking wise. So that was something I jumped on right away.
The only thing I feel like Iowa has going in this matchup is that we didn't spend the entire offseason calling Iowa the next Indiana. So I don't know if there's going to be like the Michael Jordan, I took it personally kind of feeling that Cignetti clearly had last week against Illinois. I do like the pick. I think that you mentioned it. This is an Indiana team that I think we just kind of have to realize the schedule's tougher this year, but I think it's a better team than the one we saw last year too, just from front to back. So it's a tough spot.
I definitely wouldn't take Iowa here. I think 4 was a bad opener. I don't know if it's going to get to 10. I did think about over.
Well, hell yeah, Iowa overs.
Yeah, Iowa overs this year for sure, right? Like their offensive line is pretty good, but like I think Iowa's defense is just
Take a step back.
They don't look like they have game breakers anymore on defense.
Their corners aren't as good this year.
No.
I think Indiana will score.
And like the defensive line doesn't have. Remember, they used to always be like the third stringer from 2 years ago is going to be an NFL draft pick this year. It was just kind of churning through on that side, and Phil Parker this and Phil Parker that. Yeah. All right, I like that with Indiana. I do think I think that we'll go pedal to the metal. That's Chris's number one. Best luck. All right, what else you got?
All right, let's move Friday. So looking at the TCU Arizona State game, I'm going to sit on this and wait to hopefully have this come back to 3. Looking at this, I think TCU, at least from what I was looking at on PFF, it seems like Sam Levitt's just killing teams on play action. And in order for play action to be actually successful, what do you have to do is be able to run the ball. And TCU's defense actually looks like, at least statistically, that they're holding up against the run pretty well. Especially the safeties have improved quite a bit this year. And I think just in that spot, what you're coming off of, the only thing that gives me some concern is obviously with TCU, what are you doing in the fourth quarter last week? I don't know if you guys heard any injury updates or anything. I mean, I kind of went through Twitter last night, didn't see anything. So I guess that's okay.
I read that it was a cramp, I think, but
it
looked like more than a cramp. Like it's a contact-induced cramp. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching the broadcast, and right after they said he interviewed with the sidelines reporter, and that's what he said: is it was a full body cramp. I'm good. I'm like, I don't think that's what that was.
Are you concerned at all that TCU has played one FCS team and 2 Group of 5 teams parading in the Atlantic Coast Conference as power conference teams?
North Carolina
and SMU?
No, I'm not. I think just looking at where this team is, I think getting the points, it's going to be kind of one of those Big 12 games, right? It could be a coin flip either way.
Sure.
And I think taking that field goal, I know we're looking at it on the road on a short week with some travel, but they were home last week, and not that even if, SMU, not that that's far or anything, as far as the iron skillet goes, but I just think that they're in a spot here to take advantage of the opportunity. Arizona State, the other thing that I was looking at on here, which is just a wild stat, as far as target share, Tyson has 42% of the target share, which is just wild. So, as a Penn State fan, I speak to that of the Tyler Warren effect from last year, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
You're concentrated that much on one particular target offensively. I think if you can at least limit, not necessarily take away, but limit some of the plays there, you're putting yourself in a good opportunity.
Makes sense. Yeah, they have got to find other people to throw the ball to.
I mean, what's it? It's nothing. It is just Jordan Tyson or bust.
Yeah.
Yep. I like that right there. Anything else on Friday night? Are you going to take a bite out of? Let's see. What else is on our Friday night slate? We got 2 good games.
Florida State, Virginia.
There we go. We're taking a bite out of the Noles.
We're going to take a bite out of the Noles.
All right.
I guess not necessarily the totals or anything here. I'm looking at the team over.
Florida State team total over.
Team total over for the Noles. It just seems like Virginia is perceptible to giving up these explosive plays. They've been doing it pretty consistently on a week-to-week basis. I think Florida State's run game is going to be effective against them, open up some of those easy passing games, if not some play action that can be explosive on that side too. And I just think they're in a position, they, had that struggle last year and felt like what that is. And I think being able to reset the clock here with Norvell, maybe Bud knows better, as far as that pressure goes. But it just seems like they are a team that has figured it out. They know what they want to run. They have an identity, and I think that spells trouble for Virginia on Friday.
Yeah, I think there's also some chance that Virginia is both improved and also kind of BS, right? Like if you think about this, like Coastal is one of the very worst teams in all of FBS. They might be turning around now, but like they were a total disaster the first 3 weeks of the season. Stanford is garbage, and we bet UVA last week, right?
Yeah.
NC State's defense it's just not a thing this year. I mean, ECU's offense is not very good. They moved it on them pretty consistently, and I don't know. Like there is a step up in competition here that UVA has not faced yet, but I think they're definitely better than they were last year.
Yeah, UVA's defense basically neutral or negative against NC State and Stanford. Their best performances were against William and Mary and Coastal.
Yeah,
not gonna bite on anything in the spread.
Right after they lost their QB, remember?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen.
Not that he's great,
but yeah, let's look at the whole quarterback room. You know,
yeah, that's fair.
You're going from one fast food chain to another fast food chain. It's still the same exit. You're still taking what you can get.
Exactly.
All right. All right, Chris. Anything on? All right, let's move to Saturday. Saturday noon slate. What are you gonna grab?
So Saturday noon. Looking at just a team, same almost. I feel similar in a sense here for kind of what I echoed with Florida State, but with Georgia Tech. So Georgia Tech, I'm going to grab that 14 and 14 before it gets to 14.5 or more as that starts to run out. I watched that Wake game a few weeks, or if it was last week, where it was just they had scores that should never have happened and just flukes. Are repeatable things? No, absolutely not. Kickoff returns for touchdowns, easy scores, explosive plays, kind of these one and done deals, drives that are kind of outliers. And Georgia Tech just looks methodical. Yeah, they're going to be able to just kind of bleed this game away. And limit Wake's opportunities. And that just seems like maybe it's close till halftime, maybe a field goal, maybe it's 7. But I think they're going to wear and tear on them. And Georgia Tech starts to extend that lead second half. And I think that's an easy cover.
I probably wouldn't bet Wake. I'm a little bit like, do you trust? I don't know. Like
are you
Tech
scarred by the back door? Well, you had the back door, right? That helped you.
Yeah, right. I like Tech to win by margin because they play so slow. To me, they're almost more like giant killers. But I mean, obviously they didn't cover last week, so maybe they want to have a little more killer instinct this week.
In the noon slate we're sticking with here, so let's just go. We'll go to Payne, Tom, right in your backyard.
Oh man.
And just because of the injuries, you guys hit this yesterday, right? Injuries and explosive plays of availability on wide receivers. It's just more of a principle play, right? This is not necessarily a vibes play, Chip, but it's just a principle play. I think the number's a little too low. So same thing. Well, we're 6.5. I'm going to grab that before we get to 7 for recovery on that secondary to be able to limit what USC is able to do.
All right, Chris. Well, it was nice having you on. Thanks for your donation, and
you
you got to go now. So. Yeah, no, I don't hate that play at all right now.
Yeah, I got. The on paper stuff. I mean, because the vibes play is you're getting Lincoln outside of the Pacific time zone. So, what happens when they've got to, pack the extra supplies to go to the Oregon Trail? Like, are they gonna? Is they're doing reverse Oregon Trail? Like, are they gonna get snake bit? We'll see. But I cannot argue with the very obvious USC's wide receivers good, Illinois secondary banged up. I think that might go well for the Trojans. So I can understand that.
Yeah.
So do you want to take a piece of LSU-Ole Miss?
Yeah, I think let's get into that here. This 3:30 slate. So looking at this and with what we talked about kind of on the intro here with, Lane Kiffin, what transpired this week. And listen, I've got a daughter too. And if that happened, there is absolutely no way I'm losing this game. Absolutely not. So we're going to take Ole Miss basically at this pick 'em, -1, +1. Don't care. We're going to take Ole Miss because it's just on a more of a fatherly principle. I just don't see this happening.
Yeah. No. Chris came out here and said, as the father of a daughter, I will not stand for this.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I like that there. Of course, a game in Oxford too, and who says LSU is trustworthy, right? I mean, what have we seen from the Tigers where you're like, yeah, that's definitely one of the best teams in the country. Every bit of data continues to at least call that into question. Don't hate that at all. What else? Anything else in the 3:30 slate? You gonna jump on the anything for Ohio State, Wisconsin, the big time game of the week?
Washington.
Oh, yeah, Washington. Yes.
Yeah, Washington. No.
Washington.
You're good. Of course. Right. Have to be company man. I know looking at this, they talked about, this is Julian Saint's first road test, and it's not, Husky Stadium is not an easy place to play. And this may be, I was trying to figure out the last, because I don't know, if PFF wise, do they consider Arch dual threat? I mean, I know it's his first game in Columbus and everything, but I was trying to think the last time that Ohio State's defense, or especially, I know even Knowles that we've got now, but before him, when's the last time that they dealt with a mobile quarterback or a true kind of dual threat kind of guy? And I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference. I just think Ohio State's got the horses. It may be a tight game. I think, Chip, you made the point yesterday about this may be something you check in on the third quarter and you go, ooh, that scoreline's a little tighter than I was thinking. But it's just, they're going to out-talent them here eventually. If it's third quarter, fourth quarter, maybe they backdoor cover. But under that 10 points, under the 10 to 8.5, 8. I'm not sure if the line moved at all this morning. But I'm going to land with Ohio State.
Get you 7.5.
Oh, Tom,
even better.
Yeah, we got to keep bookkeeping on that.
I'm keeping track. I'm keeping track.
All right, good. So welcome to the lock stock, Chris.
Sayin has been like one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the country. Like kind of sneakily, but like the ball's on target a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to like Washington a lot this year. I just feel like they've not gotten the health breaks they need to get. And like for that team to be where I wanted them to go, I think you need to have some guys healthy.
All right. Is it time for us to go to Happy Valley? Do we need to hear Chris's locks for the number one game of the week? Penn State hosting Oregon. Is Penn State playing with its food, or has it just been waiting? Is this a sleeping giant that's going to come out and roar? Tell me, Chris, what's the best bet? What's a lock for Penn State and Oregon?
So the more I looked at this game, and when the lines came out, you're looking at this, and I think the general public's looking at this and saying, I can get Oregon with these points just because of James Franklin in these big spots. And what I'll tell you is I took my kids and my wife to the Villanova game last week. And about midway through the second quarter, my daughter said, hey, Daddy, why is this game so boring? And I said, that's exactly right. This is so boring because I do think there has been some, I'll say, masking of the offense. I do not think it's something that you can just flip a switch and turn on. I don't. However, I think that we have not seen anything that they ran last year, like the Tyler Warren package. We haven't seen anything like that. I think Pena's in a spot to be that guy. They kind of ran some stuff with him last week. They ran a couple reverses, a couple handoffs, a couple sweeps, some things that kind of perked my eyes up or my eyebrows up, saying, hey, this is a little different. This looks different than the first 2 weeks. And then I think the other thing, looking at some of this stuff, they defensively, people think that I think the offense has been more vanilla. Personally, I think the defense has been. And the defense has been so dominant. But I think Jim Knowles, look at, not necessarily you can just use the Rose Bowl as an example, but him having the ability to be able to deal with this offense and see it and dealt with it last year a few times. He's going to have some things dialed up here, ready to go. And then I think if you can get them under pressure last few years, but back to 23, I think if you can heat them up and get some pressure, you've got some opportunities there, to potentially create some explosive plays defensively, create some turnovers. And of course, I got to give a shout out to my local guy, Chaz Coleman. You guys can use this. They call him the Chazmanian Devil. That's his nickname there at Penn State. So you're welcome to use that. But I want to give the local guy some love. He just seems like he is already figured it out as a true freshman ready to go here. So I'm looking for that defense. Deni Dennis Sutton, Tony Rojas, the secondary's looking good. And I think that's just going to put Oregon in one of these situations where can you deal with this with all of the pressure, the atmosphere? And then I did see, and this is something I wanted to ask you guys, there was some conversation online that their number one receiver, actually, what's his name? Took a knock this week in practice. Yeah, took a knock in practice.
They said the same thing last week, and he still went out there and played. 4 catches, 68 yards, and a touchdown.
I think he's okay, but I don't know that, but I just, we talked about this yesterday when we got off the air. I think he's all right.
Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, so what I'm taking my lock on this is actually Penn State's team total over.
Ooh.
Okay.
Was it 28.5, right? Or something like that?
So why it's a lock? There's been it should be last night, at least when I checked, it was 27.5. It may have moved.
Let me see what I can find for you. There we go. Yep.
Okay. So it's funny that it's that number. There's been some screenshots of this going around some Penn State social media. So you guys may or may not have seen this, but I know Penn State fans probably have this week. So this is going back to 2016 when we beat Ohio State in the whiteout. And basically every win that we've had in the whiteout since then, they're including the SMU playoff game last year. There's a magic number for Penn State. And since it's playoff baseball time, and we're going to be talking about magic numbers here, I'm going to tell you Penn State's magic number. It's 28. Every one of those games that they have won, they've scored at least 28 points.
Okay.
Okay.
So if they score 28 points, they lose. That's science.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to talk about that, Tom.
No, I'm just saying. It's like a principle at this point. It's the 28-point principle. If Penn State scores 28, they win.
That's like the Iowa 40-point, right?
Yeah, but I think this one's more attainable.
Yeah, this one's more relevant.
Iowa scored 40.
more attainable. Yeah, 100%. All right, we got a little Penn State team total over. Something that we know Chris is going to want to check out in person. Any Alabama, Georgia thoughts or locks that you want to get on the record before? No, nothing. All right, one last one. Anything on the board that you want to get? Chris's final word before.
Or do we have a sprinkle?
Oh, we could do we could jump in with a couple of sprinkles. We can, or I guess, do we want to do? I guess it was sicko mode and a sprinkle.
Okay.
All right, how much time we got? All
right.
It's time for sicko mode. Let's go. I'm a little bit lower on some of the teams in the bottom of the Sun Belt. If things go wrong, they could be like UMass UConn. That's kind of like sicko mode of a sicko mode.
All right. So sicko mode. And this is gross. It's going to be Marshall, Louisiana Lafayette.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm taking Marshall plus the 1.5. I look for these outliers from week to week. And when I looked at one of the things with Louisiana, the Raging Cajuns here, their quarterback rating under pressure. I thought this was a typo, but his quarterback rating under pressure was a 5. I'm like, that can't be right. It can't be a 5. That's so looking at that, just thinking to myself, I don't know that I've ever seen that before. And this is basically an even game. or so Vegas thinks. So just on that principle alone, I thought, we're going to roll the dice with this, and we're going to take Marshall.
What a disgusting contribution to the conversation. I'm so thankful that you did it, Chris. I am. You know the show. You get this. Yes.
Also, I think all 4 of Louisiana's offensive tackles are out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Emery Hunt.
And they only
has
have
been
4
recruited to play offensive tackle. Yeah. Oh man. All right.
Yeah, they might have more than 4 on scholarship. I guarantee they don't have more than 4 they like.
They might not have more than 4 on scholarship.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, Chris. Again, most importantly, thank you so much for participating, and thank you so much for jumping in on the auction. You won the auction, and it went for a good cause. I love this opportunity to get to talk to you and to be able to put faces and voices to people in the Cover 3 tailgate. And you are very clearly as disgusting as all of us are, as we're finding the 5s with the rating under pressure. It's just bangers of a stat poll right there. So Chris, thank you so much again. Best of luck to your Nittany Lions, and enjoy Happy Valley on